Gopi Janvala Yashodanandana Vajananandana Yashodanandana Vajananandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text number 14. For those of you who have cell phones with Bhagavad Gita inside, now is a good chance to use them. Chapter 7, text number 14, Bhagavad Gita. Please repeat after me. Devyesha Gunamayi. Devyesha Gunamayi. Devyesha Gunamayi. Devyesha Gunamayi. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mama Maya Duratya
Mama Maya Duratya
Mameva ye prapadyante
Mameva ye prapadyante
Mameva ye prapadyante
Mameva ye prapadyante
Mayamitam tarantite
Mayamitam tarantite
Mayamitam tarantite
Mayamitam tarantite
Devi Esha Gunamayi
Devi Esha Gunamayi
Mama Maya Duratyaya
Mama Maya Duratyaya
Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante
Mameva ye prapadyante
Mayamitam tarantite.
Mayamitam tarantite.
Please chant.
Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye prapadyante Mayamitam tarantite.
What? Go ahead.
Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye prapadyante Mayamitam tarantite.
Mataji's.
Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye prapadyante Mayamitam tarantite. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mameva ye prapadyante Mayamitam tarantite.
Devi.
Devi
Transcendental.
transcendental.
He. Certainly.
Certainly.
Esha.
Esha
This. Gunamayi.
Gunamayi
Consisting of
consisting of
the three modes
the three modes
of material nature.
of material nature.
Mama. My. Maya. Energy. Duratyaya. Very difficult to overcome. Mam. Unto me. Eva. Certainly. Yea. Those who. Prapadyante. Surrender. Mayamitam.
Mayamitam
This illusory energy. Taranti. Overcome. Te. They. Translation of by His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charan Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although the living entities are part of His energies and are therefore divine, due to contact with material energy, their original superior power is covered. Being thus covered by material energy, one cannot possibly overcome its influence. As previously stated, both the material and spiritual natures, being emanations from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are eternal. The living entities belong to the eternal spiritual nature of the Lord, but due to contamination by the inferior nature, matter, their illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nityabada, or eternally conditioned. No one can trace out the history of his becoming conditioned at a certain date in material history. Consequently, his release from the clutches of material nature is very difficult, even though that material nature is an inferior energy, because material energy is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, which the living entity cannot overcome. Inferior material nature is defined herein as divine nature due to its divine connection and movement by the divine will. Being conducted by divine will, material nature, although inferior, acts so wonderfully in the construction and destruction of the cosmic manifestation. The Vedas confirm this as follows: Mayam tu prakratim vidyan, Mayanam tu maheshvaram. Although Maya, illusion, is false or temporary, the background of Maya is the supreme magician, the personality of Godhead, who is Maheshvara, the supreme controller, from the Svetasvatara Upanishad 4.10. Another meaning of guna is rope. It is to be understood that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion. A man bound by the hands and feet cannot free himself. He must be helped by a person who is unbound. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. Therefore, only Lord Krishna, or his bona fide representative, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Devotional service or Krishna consciousness can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of the illusory energy, can order this insurmountable energy to release the conditioned soul. He orders this release out of his causeless mercy to the surrendered soul, and out of his paternal affection for the living entity who is originally a beloved son of the Lord. Therefore, surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord is the only means to get free from the clutches of the stringent material nature. The words Mam Eva are also significant. Mam means unto Krishna, Vishnu only, and not Brahma or Shiva. Although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are almost on the level of Vishnu, it is not possible for such incarnations of Rajagun, passion, and Tamagun, ignorance, to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also under the influence of Maya. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya, and therefore he alone can give release to the conditioned soul. The Vedas Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.8 confirm this in the phrase Tam eva viditva, or freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnur eva na samshayaha. There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. Devi Esha Gunamayi, Mama Maya Durataya, Mam Eva Ye Prapadyante, Mayam Etam Tarantite. Om Jnana Chanandasya Niranjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militanjena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Kadati Svapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachade Shatarne Vansha Kalpachubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I'm very honored to be here this evening in Tuwako at Sri Sri Gaurnitai, Sri Gopalji, Sri Sri Sitaram Lakshman Hanumanji Mandir. And I thank all of you for this wonderful opportunity for satsanga. And thank you all for coming. Before I speak, I ask the asirwad, the blessings of all the devotees, and I can speak for my own purification. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So the theme of today's verse in Bhagavad Gita is Devyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durataya. That Krishna's energy of Maya, the illusory energy, is very, very strong. And the only way to overcome this energy is to surrender to Krishna. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Prichaja Mamekam Sharanam Praja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishami Masuchaha. Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I will protect you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So He will protect us from sinful reactions, and He will also protect us from Maya. Maya Jakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam. Krishna is the Ajaksh. He's the overseer and the supervisor of the material energy of Maya. So if Krishna says, let this devotee go, let him be free, then Maya will release us. Otherwise, Maya is very stringent, and she can grab even the most advanced devotee. So I would like to tell one story this evening, with your kind permission, that illustrates this point that a very elevated devotee became captured by Maya, and he was released because of the mercy of the devotees who went and saved this devotee. And this devotee is Jamuna Acharya, who is one of the great Sri Vaishnava Acharyas, a predecessor to Srila Ramanuja Acharya. And this year is the millennium, the 1000th birth anniversary of Sri Ramanuja Acharya. Sri Ramanuja Acharya ki Jai. So Jamuna Acharya has come prior to Ramanuja Acharya, and he was very inspirational to Ramanuja Acharya. So Jamuna Acharya, he appeared in South India around Madurai. His grandfather was Natha Muni, not Narada Muni, but Natha Muni. And Natha Muni was a great mystic yogi, and he was an Astanga yogi, and he was a great devotee and a great scholar. He had a son. His son's name was Ishvara Muni. And Ishvara Muni married a wonderful devotee woman, and they were so happy being married. The whole family went on Tirtha Yatra. They traveled all over India, North India, South India. They visited Sri Vrindavan Dham. They went to the 12 forests. They visited Govardhan. They visited Jamuna. And Ishvara Muni's wife became pregnant. And they returned back home to Madurai, and she gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. And remembering their trip to Vrindavan, Natha Muni named the boy Jamuna. and everyone was very happy. But their happiness was short-lived, because in a very short time, Ishvara Muni died. And Natha Muni was so sad that his son died before him. And he was a scholar and a devotee, so he said, Devyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Jarateya. This Maya is very powerful. I'm going to take sannyas. So Nath Muni, he took sannyas, he left home. So Jamuna was being brought up by his mother and his grandmother, and they were living in poverty. When he was 5 years old, Jamuna was sent to the Gurukul. He studied under Bhasyacharya, and he was very intelligent and very sweet-natured, and soon became one of the favorite students of Bhasyacharya. When Jamuna was 12 years old, he had memorized Bhagavad Gita, studied so many wonderful scriptures, he was so devotional. His guru, Bhasyacharya, had gone out along with all the other students. He was alone. And then he heard a knock on the door. And some gentlemen came and they demanded, "Where is Bhasyacharya?" And Jamuna said, "Oh, my dear sirs, he's gone out. I don't know when he's coming back. May I ask, who are you?" "Who are we? How dare you? You don't know? We are the students of the great Kolahala, the greatest pundit in the whole universe. He's the king's pundit. Anyone who is defeated by Kolahala, the king has declared, must pay an annual tax. And if they don't pay the tax, they will be killed." Now Bhasyacharya, along with so many others, has been defeated by the great Digvijay Pandit, our teacher, Kolahala. So we have come to collect that tax. But it has been years since Bhasyacharya has paid that tax. Incidentally, Bhasyacharya was a poor brahmana. He could not afford to pay the tax. Who does this Bhasyacharya think he is? He's not paying the tax. He can be killed. Is he mad? Is he crazy? Pagal Baba? Like this, he was insulting Bhasyacharya. He said, "I can tell," this is just a 12-year-old boy, "I can tell that your guru is fool number one, because his students are so arrogant. A guru should teach his students to be humble, not arrogant. I am only 12 years old. I am the most insignificant student of Bhasyacharya, but I challenge your guru, Kolahala, to a debate." The students were shocked. No one dares to challenge Kolahala. And they could not say anything. They were indignant. They were angry. And they returned to the kingdom. And they met their teacher, Kolahala. And they said, "Gurudev, today we met a 12-year-old boy when we went to Bhasyacharya's ashram to collect the tax. And this boy has challenged you in a debate." 12-year-old boy, Kolahala said. "That is ridiculous. Ha 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 ha." He began to laugh. He went to the king and he explained to the king, "I have been challenged to a debate by a 12-year-old boy." The king also began to laugh. He said, "Cannot be serious. Let me send some messengers." So the king sent his messengers to meet Jamuna, and they asked him, "Are you serious in debating with Kolahala? You can lose your life." And then Jamuna said, "Yes, I am serious about this debate." So the messengers said, "Then come with us. Let us go and meet the king, and you can have the debate." And then Jamuna said, "You please go and tell the king, if he wants me to debate with his court pundit, he should send a proper conveyance. He should send a palanquin to collect me." So the king said, "Yes, he's correct." So he sent his own palanquin with so many jewels and chamaras and bells. and there were 100 soldiers in the procession, and band party, and musicians, and it was a big procession as Jamuna traveled to Madurai to the court. And as he was leaving, he met Bhasyacharya. And Bhasyacharya said, "What has happened?" And Jamuna said, "I have challenged Kolahala to a debate." And Bhasyacharya became very worried because he had been defeated by Kolahala. And he was concerned about his favorite students. So then Jamuna said, "Gurudev, just please give me your blessings. If you give your asirwad, I know I will be successful. Guru mukam karoti vachalam, pangam langayate girim, yat kripa tamaham vande, Shri Gurun dinataranam." By the mercy of Guru, a blind man can see, a lame man can cross the mountains, and a dumb man can speak the most eloquent poetry. So receiving the blessings of his guru, Bhasyacharya, Jamuna arrived in the kingdom on the palanquin. And when he arrived, there were so many brahmanas there, and they had all been defeated by Kolahala. And they wanted Jamuna to win, so that they would get their pride back. So they were all giving their blessings to Jamuna. And then Jamuna came into the assembly hall. The king was there. The queen was there. Kolahala was there. And the king, seeing Jamuna, he was surprised. He's a small 12-year-old boy. But the queen could see something very special about Jamuna, very effulgent. And she said, "I think that your Kolahala may be defeated today." And the king said, "No, not possible. My Kolahala will defeat this boy just like a cat plays with a mouse and then devours the mouse." And then the queen said, "No, I think that this small boy is like a small spark. And when a small spark comes in contact with a mountain of copra, a mountain of cloth, it can burn that mountain of cloth to ashes." So similarly, I think this small Jamuna will burn the mountain of Kolahala's pride to ashes. So the king said, "Oh really? Would you like to make a bet? You want to bet? Make a wager?" The queen said, "If I lose, if Jamuna loses, then I will become the maidservant of the maidservant of your maidservant." And the king said, "Oh, that is very nice." And the king said, "If I lose, if Kolahala is defeated, then I will give half of my kingdom to Jamuna." So the king said, "Very good. Let the debate begin." So thousands of people came. It was a huge assembly hall. And Kolahala said, "I will start by asking questions." And Jamuna said, "Yes, please proceed." So Kolahala began asking questions about grammar, Vyakaran. Very simple questions at first. Jamuna answered all of them very easily. And then he asked more difficult questions. Jamuna answered them easily. And then he asked like the most difficult questions. Again, Jamuna answered them easily. And then he asked the most difficult questions that he could possibly think of. And again, Jamuna answered all of them easily. And then Jamuna said, "Why are you asking me such easy questions?" Is it because you think I'm very small, that I have less intelligence? If we were to go by this logic, my dear sir, then a water buffalo is much more intelligent than you. So then Kolahala, he had to agree that yes, this logic is correct. So then he told, "Now you ask questions." So Jamuna said, "I will make 3 statements. You have to refute these statements. If you refute them, you win. If you cannot refute them, you lose. So Kolahala said, go ahead. So then the first statement, Jamuna said, your mother is not barren, is not a barren woman. Barren means cannot have a child. So then Kolahala is saying, how is it possible? I'm here. How can my mother be barren? I can answer this question. Next question. Kolahala is getting a little nervous here. So then he said, the king and queen are sitting there. Jamuna says, refute. Our king is a righteous king. And then again, Kolahala is saying, how can I say bad things about the king? He's right here. I'll be killed. Could not reply. And then Jamuna said, third point, the queen is chaste. Refute that. You cannot say the queen is unchaste. She's sitting right there. Kolahala says, this is not fair. It's not possible. You have to refute these questions yourself. If you cannot do it, you will die. So then Kolahala's fans were saying, yes, yes. And then Jamuna's Brahmana blessings people were saying, no, no. There was a big fight in the audience. And then Jamuna said, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I will answer the questions. The first point that Brahma Samhita explains, any woman who has only one child is considered barren. The second point, the king receives 1/6 of the pious activities of the praja, of his praja means? Subjects, yes. Thank you. And 1/6 of the sinful activities of his subjects. So it's Kali Yuga, Kalir Dosha Medhe Rajan. It's an ocean of faults. So many people are sinful. So the king is absorbing 1/6 of the sinful reactions of the subjects. So how can the king be considered righteous? Everyone said, Haribol! Third point, we have a very wonderful queen who's so dedicated to her husband, the king. But within the body of the king resides 8 demigods. There's Indra, Vayu, Agni, and so many others. These 8 principal demigods. So how can a woman who's married to 9 men be considered chaste? It's a Haribol. And the queen was so happy. Alalambara, Alalambara. He has conquered, he has conquered. And the king gave a garland to Jamuna, declared him the victor, and also gave him half the kingdom. So Jamuna, he was living in poverty. Suddenly he's a king. And he has all this wealth. And he starts conquering the other kingdoms and expanding his kingdom. And he forgets all about Bhagavad Gita. He forgets all about spiritual life. He's no longer chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Jamuna's grandfather, Natha Muni, he's on his deathbed. He calls for his best shishya, his best disciple, Ram Mishra. And he says, Ram Mishra, please go and save Jamuna. He's forgotten all about Bhagavad Gita, forgotten about Krishna and Vishnu and spiritual life. Please bring him back to Krishna consciousness. So then Ram Mishra goes to the kingdom to meet Jamuna, but he sees there's a long queue to meet the king. There's all these wealthy merchants and other kings. He said, I cannot meet him, I'm a simple person. So he made a plan. Ram Mishra was expert in Ayurveda. And he knew that this Tulavali sak that is growing just outside the kingdom, if the king eats that Tulavali sak, it will make him in sattva gun and will make him very strong and healthy. So he began collecting that Tulavali sak and giving it to the king's cook. So every day he would give, and the cook said, how much money can I give you? And Ram Mishra said, no, I will not take any money. I am doing this for love for the king. So this went on for 2 months. And the king was enjoying the sak so much. After 2 months, one day, Ram Mishra did not come with the sak. So the king asked the cook, "Where is my sak?" So the cook said, "Every day one sadhu comes to bring, but today the sadhu did not come." The king said, "Who is this sadhu?" And the cook said, "I don't know, but he says he's bringing the sak just out of love for you." So the king said, "Next time he comes, bring him to me. I want to meet him." So then the next day, Ram Mishra came, and he was brought to the king. And the king said, "Why are you doing this?" So then Ram Mishra said, "Tell the cook to go outside. I want to speak with you privately." So the king sent the cook away, and Ram Mishra said, "I am sent by your grandfather, Natha Muni, because he has sent me to give you a great treasure he has left." So then Jamuna was very excited because he needed treasure, he needed money to fight his wars. So he said, "Give me the treasure immediately." So then Ram Mishra said, "It is some distance away. It is hidden between 2 rivers. It is protected by 7 gates. It is protected by a many-headed serpent. And every 12 years a yaksha comes to inspect the treasure." So then Jamuna said, "Let's go. I'll bring my army." And then Ram Mishra said, "We must go alone." So then Jamuna says, "All right, let's go." So it was hot season in Madurai, very hot. As they were walking at noon and midday, they sat down to rest. And Ram Mishra began to chant Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Raja Vidya Raja Guyam Pavitramidam Uttamam Prajakshavam Gamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartam Avyayam. Raja Vidya, the king of knowledge. And as he chanted this Bhagavad Gita, he chanted whole Bhagavad Gita from memory. Jamuna's memories of Bhagavad Gita began to reawaken, and he was realizing it. What have I done? I've given up the greatest treasure of Bhagavad Gita and spiritual life just for a materialistic kingdom. I want to renounce this. So then he said, "I don't want this treasure anymore." Then Ram Mishra said, "I promised your grandfather this treasure, so I want to give you this treasure. Please receive it." So Jamuna agreed. Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Shri Gopalji ki jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanumanji ki jai. So they traveled to the Kuveri River in Sri Rangam. They crossed the river to an island. They entered through 7 gates of the temple of Ranganath. And there, resting on Anantashesh, was the deity of Sri Ranganath. Sri Ranganath Bhagavan ki jai. So Ram Mishra said to Jamuna, "This is the treasure that your grandfather has left you." So then Jamuna offered his dandavat prostrations at the lotus feet of Sri Ranganath. He gave his kingdom back to the kings. Some of the kingdom he kept and gave to Sri Ranganath, and the money was used for the worship of Sri Ranganath. Jamuna became Jamuna Acharya. He wrote Stotra Ratna and many other wonderful poems and scriptures. He studied the works of Nam Alvar and put them all to music. He was very much loved by all the devotees for his scholarship, his learning, his wonderful worship of the deity, his mood of service to the Vaishnavas, and his wonderful bhakti, his devotion. Shri Jamunacharya ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So we see the power of the illusory energy, Mama Maya Jarateya, that even a great person like Jamuna Acharya was covered by the illusory energy. But by the mercy of Natha Muni and Ram Mishra and Bhagavad Gita, he was brought back to devotional service. I'd like to thank all of you for your kind attention this evening. I'm very grateful to you. I've gone a couple of minutes over time, so I won't take any questions at this point. But if anyone likes to ask me questions personally after the class, I'd be happy to answer. Is that all right, Prabhu? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.